Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, California Weather Watch. Today is May 5th, and you might wonder where I am right now. I'm in a passenger seat in the vehicle, driving through Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas today to chase some severe storms out across the plains here. So just in case you're wondering where I am out here in the Great Plains. So anyway, back to the weather across the West Coast. Of course, you can see the trough there. California's been below average for a lot of the state here, and you guys know we've had that tornado yesterday across Los Angeles. That's what happens when these upper level lows can move down across the area. And the National Weather Service talked about the potential for some water spout activity. But we'll take a look at the weather here coming up, and we'll take a look at the extended forecast. It looks like things may warm up here along the West Coast. This is looking at National Weather Service Sacramento. Continued cool and unsettled weather. We've got another system that's going to be rolling in on the day Monday as well. This is Los Angeles. This was put out yesterday, and just kind of highlighting that they did call for that thunderstorm potential and even some water spouts out there, and it's even some higher elevation snowfall. But yeah, I heard that it was Compton, California. I saw some images of that tornado out there yesterday. Very interesting. That would be the second event this year for Los Angeles. Now this is looking at 500 millibars up towards 18,000 feet, and you can see the troughing continuing over the West Coast. And there comes that next storm pivoting into Southwest Oregon, Northern California there, leaving the trough open across California. Continue off into the future here in the GFS. Look at that ridge start to build here as we go through the end of next week. Look at that trough over the Gulf of Alaska kind of retrograde and allow that ridge to build here. So there's still some model disagreement on how much we're going to warm up here, but the Pacific Northwest could get a nice heat wave out of this as well. And this could be the big warm up that we kind of been fearing across the state of California, but it is still fantasy land at this point. This is looking at day 1 through 3 overall winter storm impacts. There could be some higher elevation snowfall, but again, just mainly minor impacts from that. This is looking at 7-day total precipitation. You can see it's somewhat come to an end here for Southern California over the next week or so at least. And you'll see mainly central Northern California getting some decent amounts, especially Northern California there and some of the Sierra Nevada. Here we're looking at the surface pressure map and 6-hour precipitation. You can see the precipitation continuing across mainly Northern California here as we go on in through this weekend. Some upper elevation snowfall. There goes the next system rolling into Northern California as we go through the day Monday. And then we start to dry things out a bit after another very weak system slides through Tuesday night. Wednesday morning, that should be out of here. Then you see the ridge start to build across the west coast of North America there and really start to keep things, or at least dry things out here as we go through about the 10-day period on the European there. This is looking at Redding, California. You can see the precipitation occurring here as we go through the weekend, and then another bump as we go through Monday and Monday night shown there. So after that, we start the potential for some drying out. This is looking up towards 5,000 feet. You can see Hawaii bottom left there. You see California, Washington. This is showing temperature anomaly. You can clearly see that California has been below average, and we're going to continue to do so through this weekend on into early this week coming up here. There goes the system as we go through the day Monday, continuing to bring these below average conditions, temperature wise anyway, across the state. But then as we go on in through later next week, look at that ridge build along the western coast of North America there. Pacific Northwest starts to bake here, if you believe the long-range GFS here. We've got some ensemble agreement with this, but there is some discrepancy between the European and the GFS on just how warm we're going to get. But this will be something to watch here over the next few days as we get closer. For example, this is Sacramento, the GFS, daily high and low temperature. You can see that highs only in the upper 60s really, and then the slow, and then eventually, actually not really too much of a slow climb out. We warm up pretty quickly there as we go towards the end of next week. Some temperatures potentially returning to the 90s. This is Fresno, something similar there. You can see that warm up there as we go on in towards mid-May. Here's Palm Springs, some temperatures up there in the upper 80s. But again, this is kind of a long-range forecast we're looking at here with that warm up. So just kind of giving the first heads up on these warm conditions potentially coming. This is the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, much of the west coast included. This goes May 12th through May 18th. And this is 8 to 14 day precipitation outlook. Not a strong signal for drying out too much just yet, but really at this time of year, California is relatively dry. And this is 8 to 14 day hazards outlook. You can see that hatched area that includes a lot of the Sierra Nevada there and down across the valley areas, including Lake Tulare. That means that the snowmelt could be causing some flooding conditions as we go on in through May. Here's the drought monitor. Really good news across the state of California. As you guys have known, we've been talking about this for a couple of months now. Virtually the entire state is drought free. Just some minor drought conditions, or moderate drought, I should say, officially across the state. But anyway, yeah, just want to give you guys an update on what's going on here. You got the system going on now, one coming in Monday, and then the potential for some drying after that, and then some warming towards the end of next week. All eyes are on that potential ridge development here and potential warm up as we go through next week. So anyway, just thought I'd give you guys an update. Hope you guys are liking the channel so far. I'm going to try to do these briefings at least every other day while I'm out here on the road. I'll probably be out here for at least the next week or so chasing these severe storms out here across the Great Plains. So hoping to catch a nice photogenic tornado here over the next few days. Anyway, yeah, we'll do this again either tomorrow or the next day, and I will talk to you guys then.